Hey, it's Julie Ziemelis, 365 Hawaii, and I am here with...
Lance Owens with LUVA Real Estate.
And I'm with Real, and so is Eric, and so are 3 other new people because I'm growing my team. One of these days, Lance might join me. But he's like, no.
I keep telling Julie I've left the lights on for her back at our place. So, well, you got a good team going. You're building up a good team.
Yeah. In fact, Andy Madrid joined today.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so Andy from our South Kona. We've made him a star with our video channel. We are, now Lance is doing his thing. He's had a long travel time, so he gets that one. And I am now switching over to non-alcoholic experiences after a few of you have pegged us for who we are. But maybe not forever, but at least today I'm trying something new. So what are you doing? You're doing...
Today, I want you guys to sit back, grab a beer, and enjoy the show. Today we are doing...
Hiker's Dream.
Aloha Beer Company and Hiker's Dream. It's really good. I learned about this at Stingeray's.
Yeah.
And this is one of my... I've had this a few times. So
yeah,
good stuff.
an IPA. That means it has a strong taste?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's unfiltered, too.
Okay, well,
ready,
mine's
Eric's joining me
blackberry
today.
lemon.
I'm going to do mine
There
there.
we go. There we go.
Cheers.
There we go. Okay,
Right.
and mine's called Hayo. Okay.
Hayo.
Hayo.
Silver?
Hayo, give us the damn statistics and make it look like our market's cooking along here. So, speaking of, what the general feeling, I think, in Hawaii is rainy and overcast. We've had...
Apparently it's been that way for a while,
weeks,
too, right?
Weeks of rain. And so maybe that's kind of putting a cooler on the condo market. But we are going to talk a little bit today about the statistics. We're going to talk a little bit about the fact that Lance went to the National Association of Realtors conference in Washington, D.C. to talk to legislators, so maybe what you know about things that are coming down the pike. And also, let's also have a chat about where we think things might be going, maybe as we go through the summer.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's start with what's happening right now.
What's happening right now today? What do we think? You guys think the median price went up or down? Julie, what is it on? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do numbers first. I'm sorry.
Okay, do numbers first.
Number of residential homes sold year over year for the month of May. What do you got? Up or down?
Down.
Up.
Down.
Down. Okay.
Down.
It just seems like there's a lot of homes being sold right now.
I know it. So you remember this is reflecting things from what back in...
last month, in May. Yeah, things are slower. Now things are picking
April,
up.
But,
Okay.
So we're picking it up. So
yeah, April was bad. Just so you know, bad April.
Bad April. You bad April. So it was... I'll tell you a quick story because it was slow, and of course I had to take off to the mainland. I was gone for almost a month. And the day I left in April, we got two of our listings in escrow.
Oh, the deal. Because this is how it goes, guys. If you're a realtor, all you have to do is go on vacation, and you're going to get a lot of business. So we leave on Friday, and we had 3 buyers call us this week.
Yeah. So crazy. So it is down 29%. So that's pretty significant, right?
Yeah,
so we went from 41 to 29.
Okay.
And that puts us at a 29.27% drop in the number of sales year to date. It is down 7%. So,
Okay. So worse year over year, but 7% year to date means
year
at
to
least
date,
it's just kind of like.
And last year was a pretty, it was labeled as one of the worst years we've had in the last 5 or 6 years, right?
So it's worse now.
Yeah, so it's a little bit worse now. So yeah, we'll watch out. But we'll talk more about this later.
Yeah, because it's good for buyers when things are looking kind of
right, and we're going to jump
slow
into that number too.
Yeah. Okay.
So the number of condos, up or down the number of sales?
Down.
Down, correct.
By a lot.
That's 29% also.
Oh, they're 30%.
So, yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So we went. So both of them. So homes were 41 and condos were 44 a year ago, and they're both 29 and 31.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So this year, so 31 condos sold. I mean, there's 186 in the market.
There's still
today.
okay. So it's still. I was wondering where that number was. 186. That means there's even more. Because I just put another one on this week, and we're going like this. Oh, another condo on the market.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. I think the big thing, we've talked about it, is if it's unique somehow, they are selling and they are
uniquely priced.
Oh, you're going to be surprised.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, we're going to jump right over that.
Okay, let's
now
hear it.
Now that you mentioned it, let's go into the median price for condos. We'll start there since we just got off that figure. Median price for condos up 8.51%.
Okay.
surprised me too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so.
okay. So wow.
I like to not be surprised, but I've been gone a
Right.
month, and I looked at these numbers.
That means
and I
the
was like,
small-time investors are not buying like $400,000 condos. These are
Right.
bigger people buying like ones in 700, 800, 900 range.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say is if it's something that is different in some way, if it's
Like
if it's
oceanfront.
on the beach, if it's oceanfront, if it's walking distance to the beach, if it's got something unique,
And desirable,
yeah.
right?
And so if you've got, I don't know what better word to use for this, more workforce housing, if you're living there, or more of the, it's not workforce housing, but it's just kind of more in the, priced in a certain range that makes it affordable for everybody, that where you can't do vacation rentals. And that's why I like to use that word workforce housing, because typically if you can't do the vacation rentals, we have people that are, it's people that live here, because the other people need to offset their ownership costs
Right.
while they're gone.
So they're
And you can't do it.
they're willing to pay more to get that unique experience, because
Yeah.
then they have to resell it to tourists.
Yeah.
Where if you're just a regular schmo, and I saw a regular schmo condo, and literally it was looking into the back of a dirt wall across the street from a commercial building, and that was the least expensive one in there. And I'm like, that's not somebody who says I have to move to Hawaii and get myself an ocean view kind of person.
Yeah.
So it's going to probably be somebody who's just trying to get it into the market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Somebody that is tired of paying someone else's mortgage, and they want to get in and start paying
that's
their
another
own.
thing. If you're watching this in your
Yeah.
local, there's some things. If,
There's
if
some
you
things
don't want
going
that
on.
big old fat ocean view and those, crazy HOA fees, that some of the local complexes that are meant for locals are actually, the prices are getting reasonable.
Why don't you tell them the news we were just talking about too, about Elite Ulani?
Oh yeah, so one of the things, and this is why, because one of my friends has decided she might want to leave Lihilani and go join their complex across the street, is that she said at least they came up with, the board met and they found out that their condo insurance is going to go down 20%. And they said that it might not immediately go into a 20% decrease in their HOA fees, but she's actually hoping to get some of her assessment money back. And so that would be nice if they would do that. Now, I don't know. 'Cause
That ain't
sometimes
gonna happen,
it's like
right.
waiting for prices to come down. Once they know you're paying it, then it probably doesn't go down too much. But they might give them a break. And the good news is it means it's not going to continue to keep going up.
That's the good news, right?
Yeah.
And it
Because
is
people are
coming down
thinking
some.
one of the reasons that they're afraid of buying condos right now is because they can't trust what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so at least with it going down, not up, that means at least there's good news for people who are thinking, I'm trying to stabilize my costs, what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I think something to jump into why we're at this right this moment is that so I was just left the National Association of Realtors, their legislative meetings in Washington D.C. We were there for a week, several meetings. One of the interesting ones was the insurance commission or insurance committee for NAR itself. And because this is a nationwide problem, I got
We're
lucky.
looking at you, Florida.
I was surprised at some of the stuff. So I can't. I won't say it. But so anyways, it was standing room only in the room, and there was probably another 50 people outside the doors just trying to hear what was going on.
Because it's a
in
big
this-
deal.
It's huge.
Yeah, California.
And they had some big speakers in there. But one of the things that blew me away is like, Florida's yelling and screaming about all the hurricanes and tornadoes, and out west here we're yelling and screaming about our wildfires. We're all saying our problems are worse, and so they had some really good guys on there on this panel that was there, and I was blown away when they showed that the hurricanes are way up here. It's gone way up, and the wildfires gone way up here, but the Midwest, the numbers. We're like, I don't want to say outperformed because I don't want to call that performance, but they
You mean they're not getting
outdid
hit?
the East and the West.
They are worse.
Yes.
Like what, Texas?
It didn't say. It said that but in the middle. I'm guessing Missouri and places like that to get hit with hailstorms and things like that. So whatever those states are, what do they call them? The flyover states.
Yeah, the ones no one actually lives in. No,
So-
and I love those people.
They live
But
there.
we just saw a
Julie.
show about scientists doing research on hail, and they were showing hail that had come down that was like this big.
Yeah.
And then they showed a side of a house that had been completely like riddled
Yeah.
with and then they showed cars like the front windshields crashed.
Oh man,
I
yeah.
mean, it's like, okay, I grew up in California and we have our earthquakes, but I have never seen that kind of like unilateral damage. It's like being attacked when
Yeah.
a hailstorm comes in.
Yeah.
And then everyone needs new cars. They gotta like get their roofs
It's like
fixed.
10,000 baseballs falling out of the
Yeah.
sky, right?
Ugh.
And
You move to Hawaii, we don't have that.
yeah. Oh, that's good.
But someone's got to pay for that.
Yeah. But I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So NAR is taking a very deep, hard look at it. Interestingly enough, our legislators, we had our specific talking points that we went there to talk about. And our, if your legislators want to change the subject and you're in their office and you've got this time with them, there's about 14,000 realtors showed up in Washington, D.C. And we all met with our realtors. It was, we call it Hawaii on the Hill here. But it is everybody in the Hill to talk to the legislators about the common problems that we're working on. We got some good things we're working on, but yeah, it was interesting. Our legislators wanted to talk about insurance and what we see on it.
Yeah.
And for those, I won't get into this too deep, but the laws were just passed for the bringing back on the Hawaii Hurricane Relief Fund. So if you see HHRF, you see them talking about that. They're going to be looking at that. And then HPIA, which is Hawaii Property Insurance Association, which typically deals with Lava Zone 1 and 2. But they've got a work group working on this now, and the bill passed to bring these things on board.
Oh, so people
And
can afford to live in Lava Zone 1 and 2? Or is that
No,
still
that's
risky
always been
behavior?
there, but
Okay.
I think there may be some kind of manipulation with some of the areas that aren't covered because you can only use the HHRF for hurricane. So
Oh, okay.
But
Not natural
if they-
disasters in general.
right, so we got to get these things changed to maybe a national disaster. We've got the flood program. I mean, all these things are natural disasters. We should just really have one program in my
Well, they're
mind.
going to say, there's an active volcano right there. Even though in Florida, that there's hurricanes every year.
Yeah.
So why,
Every year. Why aren't they? I mean, at least in Hawaii, when the lava takes out something that's total,
Yeah.
you can't rebuild
You
it.
can't
They're
rebuild
not
it.
letting you
That's what I
rebuild.
was going to say, because
Sorry, we got an attack on gnats here. You
Yeah,
guys.
I know. It's like I'm being bit. This is what happens when, again, the moisture factor goes up in Hawaii.
Yeah.
We get more little crazy little flying creatures. But back to the stats, because people
Yep,
give
back
us
to the
13
stats.
minutes on average here.
Well, hopefully we held them on a little bit longer here. So residential homes, up or down on medium price,
Flat.
up 7.5%.
Really? Okay.
Yep. So condos up 8.5%, residential up 7.5%.
Year over year.
Year over year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are at 1.210. And it's kind of crazy because we jumped so far up to 1.4 at times, and those were sometimes really close to what they were last year. I need to put together a study on the price per month over 5 years to see which months are actually bringing
Oh,
in higher
yeah,
months.
that'd be interesting to see if it's a seasonal experience.
Because we haven't been down at 1.2 for a long time, and for
Yeah.
that to be 7.5%
More?
higher
Yeah.
than last year. Last year was 1.125.
Okay.
Just to give you the numbers. So
Maybe April's a
I
bad
don't
month
know.
to buy.
yeah,
I don't know. Let's
April
see.
Fool's
April's
Day.
yeah. Because it's after
Actually,
the
this
after
is
the,
May. Yeah, but you're
yeah,
right.
but get
April.
this. But that's when they
Yeah.
go into escrow,
Yeah.
right? And so maybe that's when the push of people who come for the holidays pulls
Yeah.
out, and then we have a dip. So maybe we're
Yeah,
talking
I think
seasonal
kids getting
dip
ready
time.
to graduate. Snowbirds went home.
Yeah, because I'm seeing just a
The
lot of
spring breakers
people
aren't
now are
here
like,
yet.
calling. So now it's June. So now, also, not just my opinion, that people sometimes will sell their houses like in February, March, April on the mainland,
Mm-hmm.
which gives them the money to come shopping in Hawaii, in like now, end of May, June.
Mm-hmm.
And now the kids are out of school. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, I'm coming to Hawaii. I'm
Kids
looking
are
for a
out of
house.
school. They're doing their thing. I'm feeling a pickup. NAR was just talking about
Yeah.
we're seeing a pickup. Everybody's seeing a pickup.
Hey,
So
there we go.
nationwide is coming. So I don't know if you're waiting.
Yeah, I know this might be that moment, you
I
guys,
don't know.
because I see a lot of people out there lowering their prices.
All
okay.
right. Okay. What's our next thing? Are we
Okay,
are
so
going
get
to
this.
go?
I look at some of these stats. Do me a
Uh-huh.
favor. Did you bring volume?
Volume.
Sales volume.
No, that's the one I left out.
60% decrease
60% decrease.
in sales volume, just so you know. So people have definitely said
That's for North Kona.
right.
So 30%, you know, so that's condos.
Was condos? Okay.
So we got 29% decrease in numbers sold. So you would expect it to be down a third, but then we have a 7% or 8% increase in price. So you would expect it to be maybe 20%, you know. And you're saying it was how much down?
60%.
60%. You know what?
Sales volume.
Let's look at this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Hawaii Island. No, I'm talking North Kona.
North Kona, yeah. Oh, that's North Kona.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
So $20 million volume this year and $66 million last year. Yeah. So that's your 60.
Yeah. It's just
That's
people
huge.
saying, I'm not spending a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that kind of a pullback from the market, you're going to find deals.
Yeah.
So, but
Yep.
that's another thing too, just so you guys are watching, so we know how like both sides. We really do have a lot of sellers now looking at what's happening with the market. Sellers because the ones I talk to are starting to realize these are not 2022 prices anymore.
No.
No, we're in a whole new experience.
A whole new world.
Yeah.
And we'll jump in that. Should we just jump
Yeah, let's
straight
jump
over
right
to
in there.
absorption rate?
Okay. Oh yeah, you're gonna show. Like, I'll watch this. Boom, 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 boom. Are we in a buyer's market?
We are we're inching closer to a buyer's market.
Okay.
So we are absorption rate for Kailua Kona is 16%. Remember, 15 to 20 is a stable market. Below 15 is a buyer's market. Above 20 is a seller's market. We saw 80, 90%, which is unheard of, you know, during the COVID years.
The run up.
Yep, the run up, and it's so yeah, it's a much fairer market. So we are
Yeah.
seeing things
Yeah.
to.
And I always go back to the Fed. They did this because they knew that it was unsustainable. The amount of equity people are getting in their houses,
Yep.
which were pricing out normal schmoes, and now the schmoes are now looking at 7%,
Yep.
maybe 8 next year. We never know. And so this has just calmed everything down.
I always think it's a mistake, you know. Anytime they get involved, you know, the run up. Remember in 2005 was the fact that you know you just fogged a mirror.
Yeah, and then we
You
get
get
a
a loan.
house. Yeah,
And there was no need for these low rates that we had.
they kept
I
it
mean,
way too long.
Yeah.
2 and 3%. I mean, and then when I was throwing money and
Yeah.
you know, just get anything, just gonna be something, you know. Give me a
Yeah,
house.
it's kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
but it certainly didn't create what we had in 2005.
No,
So,
it did. But
yeah,
now we have a
we'll
bunch of
have that.
people who are like this. I'm not moving unless I see
moving.
5.5. And now the national economic states, we're not going to see a 5.5 interest rates for who knows how long.
yeah, a long
so
time.
I'm just saying that if you think that you're waiting for the interest rates to come down to a point, you're going to make a move. You might be waiting. So
Yeah, long time I think. And then they are expecting, and I don't usually like to pull up my phone when I'm in a thing, but go ahead and keep talking. I
Okay.
just because I just sent somebody out an email,
Uh-huh.
and I had the national numbers of what NAR projected a few days ago. So we will
projected for.
national sales.
Oh, okay.
So that's
So do you have the? So this is listed sales price. I'm gonna tell them that.
yes.
one.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Hit
Okay,
it.
so for North Kona, for residential,
Yeah.
the final listed sales price was 93%. So now that's a 7% discount on sales for homes.
7% discount.
And then and that was for single family homes. Now for condos, it's also 93.45%. So they're almost racking up at the same time. So and then average days on market for single family homes is 52, and for condos it's 62. And did you say what the median price for a condo was in North Kona? It's $650,000.
Oh no, I didn't tell them. I
Yeah,
just
so
told them what the
650.
percentage was. So
Which gets
650.
you a decent condo. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yep, without a doubt.
Yeah, and then land sales look like North Kona. Not a lot, right? Because we don't usually sell a lot of, North Kona, yeah. Well, 58 days on market, 93.66%. And if you guys want the biggest sale on the island, go to the North Kahala where they're getting 83% of what they want for land up there. And for,
Probably 3 that sold.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then for condos, because they're mostly in West Hawaii, the lowest is for 93 in South Kahala. And then South Kahala, though, you guys, just so you guys know, a lot of multi-million-dollar condos are down there. When Janet did her update, there's a lot of condos that aren't moving up there.
They're hurting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
a lot worse than Kona is.
Yeah, because at least
so.
people who move to Kona, there's some affordability all through here. You can't get a cheap condo up in North Kahala.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the housing stock
That's
is a lot
almost all second home
Right.
type areas,
Yeah,
but
they
not
bought-
everything, but most of it. Yeah.
Most of it. So, what do you got?
So nationwide forecast, and this just has homes.
Mm-hmm.
Existing home sales, NAR is predicting in 2025 there'll be a 6% increase, and they
In sales.
will, yes,
Okay.
and in 2026 they're predicting an 11%. And kind of interesting days on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I could like show this to you guys, but days on the market is dropping again. If you look at that, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it goes. Ding,
Yeah,
ding,
yeah,
ding.
yeah. It's been doing this for several years. So,
So maybe again,
but
the
we are very,
seasonality's
very
part of it.
low. We're still very, very low compared to overall.
Yeah.
Interesting. Here we were talking about things on sale. So here is the national average. If something's been on the market for 31 to 60 days, in May of 2025, the average price reduction for something on the market for over 30 days was a 7.7%.
Okay, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then April 2019, it was a 6.6%.
So it's worse.
1%.
Okay.
And the prices are quite a bit higher, but
Yeah. Okay.
so if it's 91 to 120
Yeah.
days,
Then what is it?
11.6% versus 9%.
Okay.
So
And there
so
are we were
interesting.
all looking at condos, you guys. There's like condos that are sitting there for 200 days right now. You know, sellers are going like, damn it, I need to sell this thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is another thing we talked about, strategy for buyers. If you guys are out there looking for condos or homes that have been on the market for a long time, that's when you, and I get this, and you help me on this one. I have had sellers say,
Don't blame me.
don't lower my price, just tell people to bring in their best offer.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll negotiate with you once you actually bring an offer in. So that way they're willing to make a deal. They just don't want to put it out there because they're thinking someone's going. Once they lower the price, then somebody's going to like try and beat them down further on their price.
Yeah, they keep wanting to go down, down, down.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
People
Yep.
aren't stupid.
No.
Okay. So
I think that is.
that's it?
Let's make sure we did that. We did this. We did that, and we did the absorption rate. Yeah.
Okay.
We hit everything in a record amount of time.
There we go. And just so when you guys, for our usual Facebook people are going to say, what the heck happened? We were unable to do a live update today for the first time in years. Because Facebook looks like they've kind of like...
We tried it on all three of our phones. We could not get it.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do live videos anymore, guys. Which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
So if you guys wanted to try and do a live, put it down in the down below, because we might. The only way we can go live if Facebook goes away is do YouTube lives, and then people can like maybe respond. Now I don't know if you can talk.
Yeah.
I guess you can talk
Yeah.
on the side.
You hear me talking about my barbecue show all
Yeah,
the time.
that's true, that's
Barbecue
true.
Central show every Tuesday night, 2 hours. But we're always, the chat gets very lively over there.
Yeah, I bet nice lively.
No.
Okay, I say Hawaii lively is like
It's 9
everyone uses that chat opportunity to tell I hate the governor, or they use it for all these the shout out to everything they believe in. So
it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
But it's held from 9 to 11 p.m. this show on the East Coast. So there's a bunch of barbecue people that probably had a bourbon.
I was there drinking.
Yeah. But it's not terrible. So
yeah.
You know what? One thing I'm talking about.
What?
So I was interesting when Lawrence Yoon, the numbers I gave you guys is Lawrence Yoon puts those numbers on, and he's NAR. He is their economist. And there was big headlines by MarketWatch. Buyers rushed into the market for new homes in April, pushing sales to highest level in 3 years.
Oh, he was talking about the joke that it was such a little amount, right?
No, he was telling us why and what happened, and what
Yeah.
that was is new home developers were buying down rates.
Oh.
It got big in April. It was April. It was spring was coming in. It was going on. They were doing some buy downs on rates, and that's where it came from. So incentives, and so keep that in the back of your mind. If your condo's not moving, talk to a good local lender. We say this all the time.
Yep.
Somebody that lives here and knows the complex and knows what's going on, and talk to them about buying down rates. So rather than asking for a $30,000 price reduction, at the end of the day, buying it down a percentage may be far better off And
Yeah.
I did that when I bought my first home.
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah.
home?
And if you guys are interested in understanding that, I did a video
Bugs.
that you'll see on our channel when I talked to Travis last week, and
Uh-huh.
Travis talked about buy downs.
Yeah.
And we went through a kind of like a little math experience to say how much that would mean to you over the course of the loan if you bought
Yeah.
down the rate. And also, if you're looking for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath condo, we are offering $3,500 off as a seller concession to use however you want. Buy down part of your rate, pay for your HOA fees. KO Resort will pop it below.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good. That's a nice one too. It's all redone and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
right?
$100,000 remodel. My mother-in-law wants out.
Oh.
So, and also, do you have anything to pitch while we're here?
We got two really good land deals going on right now. I'm working on a home down in Mililii. It's a beautiful home, and the sunsets and the views are phenomenal. It's a newer home. When I say newer, it's built in the 2000s, I think 2005, but it's more of a conventional home.
Well, that's a newer home.
Well, compared to a lot of stuff down there.
Oh, it's
I
old,
mean, there hasn't been a bunch of big changes in the two. You get something in the 70s and 80s like we
Okay.
have around here.
Yeah, like our house.
We had this huge run-up of homes built here in Kona in the 70s and 80s. We had it in the 60s. 70s and 80s, and then the 90s had a run up, and then or 2005, a bunch of new homes
Yeah.
up. So this was in that 2005 era. So it was
Okay.
it is a nice home, lightly lived in and
How much?
turnkey furnished. We haven't signed it yet, so I can't say. I'm going to tell you it's going to be probably around the 550 range, but it's really nice, and the views and the furnishings and everything, and it's really
Nice,
cool. So
nice, okay.
hopefully we will have that up within a week. But I mean the views are $1 million views.
Okay.
So it's good.
And they probably less rain than we have.
He told me that his catchment tank has been overflowing since February, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it feels like here too.
Yeah, exactly. If I had a catchment tank, mine would have been
Yeah.
overflowing
Yeah,
since February.
And then just so you guys know, if anyone's looking for a condo, I said not only do I have the one at Kehoe Resort, we also just signed an agreement 2 days ago, and so it's going to be an open house tomorrow. We're doing a 1 bedroom, 1 bath in the Ali'i Villas, and it has a ocean view, and it's a second building back, and it is $595,000, and it's a SDVR, and it's turnkey, and it'd be a great investment opportunity. So there you go.
Very cool.
I'll say this way: my sellers say it's a great investment opportunity. I can't say that.
Right. We don't have investment license.
That's right.
So
Consult your own
we're-
advisor.
Yeah.
And then in terms of what we think is going to happen this summer, what do you think? In terms of pricing and demand and all the good stuff. You see some good stuff?
I don't see any big changes. I think it's going to be 1 or 2% higher. I think. Didn't I say what he said in prices?
Yeah, but that's no. What do you think is going to happen here? We don't have
Here
new
in Kona,
developers
right.
offering deals.
No, we don't have
There's
that.
no big developers offering deals anymore.
But I think, where we're looking at 7 and 8% increase over a year ago. So I think this summer is going to see, from today to then, probably 2 or 3% increase.
Yeah.
We're going up 1% a month, a little over that. So yeah, that's what I see
Okay.
for the summer. And we're just gonna play it out. Everybody, even Lawrence Yun, had to have that disclaimer about, we don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
we
uncertainty
can't-
is like
there's
making
so
people
much
go, "Look, I don't know
uncertainty,
what's going to happen."
Yeah.
But I'll tell you guys, this week, with how much we've gotten the phone calls from people saying, "I want to buy," the weird thing is that for the people that want to buy here, they haven't sold their house yet on the mainland.
Yeah.
So they're shopping with no money. And so don't be that guy that you guys, this is not happening. This market is not so soft that sellers are going to take your offer and then wait for you to put your house on the market.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
I agree with you 100%.
So, even they might, at this point, we're doing pretty good in the fact that they might say, I'll take a contingent on your home selling because it's in contract right now.
Yeah, like it closes in 3 weeks. or
Right,
2
so
weeks
that
or
way, and
something,
also I've been
so-
hearing people who are sitting on these houses for 100 and 150 days. They want out because they've been waiting, but they also they're going like this. I
They
don't
know
want to
that-
lose money.
Well, and they know that yours may take
Yeah.
80 days, 60 days, something like that to sell. So that's now they're sitting at them a lot longer. So
Yeah.
work out something. It's very easy, guys. We do this all the time, especially during COVID. We did a lot. Make it part of the sale that you rent back for 60 days or something to give yourself time to get here and do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't
yeah.
hurt to
That's
be
not
creative again. We
Yeah.
kind of, as we transition from one thing to another, and
This
there's
up and down
been-
market thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been I don't know how to say this where it's correct, but there has been a certain amount of realtors that have dropped out this year. A significant amount, and that's that happens usually 2 to 3 years. We'll see a lot of that. We also saw a lot of people that came over and at the point in time where you could just get a license and you could get government money to pay for that schooling and things like that during COVID. So a lot of that's gone. So we've lost about 9% of the membership
Really? Wow.
here in Hawaii of realtors.
Yeah.
So it's putting it back to a normal thing. And I'm going to say that the ones that are still in here are typically the ones that have had more experience. It's not the people with experience leaving right now. It's the people that didn't have experience prior to the run up,
Yeah.
and they didn't know what it was like to actually have a year-long listing contract or
It's good. It's good.
6-month-long
Yeah.
contract. So,
Yeah.
so I think that's good for the market overall.
Yeah.
to see that.
Also, one of the people that we've added to our team has 30 years of experience, and people who've been in the industry for a long time also know to ride the ups
Yeah,
and downs.
exactly.
And if you were killing it in 2021, and then everything was just went like this, and you didn't know how to go out there and market and get new people, you're hurting.
Yeah.
And then you have to go get a job. Right, so it's and a lot of people actually, I've got a couple, 3 or 4 people saying, "I'll move to Hawaii and I'm going to get my real estate license and I'm going to sell real estate because you guys make it look pretty easy." I'm like, "This is not easy. This is 24/7, guys."
Yeah.
I'm lucky I have an Eric, is what I'm looking because of the and now you have a Kimmy, so
Yeah.
we both have husband and wife teams because sometimes it takes 2 people to actually do what we do. So
It's interesting. We just had there was debate on the floor. NAR changed some of its code of ethics. I won't get into the details of it, but some of the changes. But what was being debated on the floor is when does a realtor take off his hat? When is he not a realtor?
safe language.
And it was like, if you pick up a phone at 9:00 and somebody wants to write an offer, you're a realtor. You're writing it up. That's your fiduciary duty to your client. I was taught if I'm sitting at the bar at 2 a.m. with my client and they want me to go write it up, that you're supposed to do that because you don't know if an offer is coming in first thing in the morning.
Right.
So, and I'm not sitting at the bar with my clients at 2 a.m. That was my instructor's. That was what he did.
Okay.
But that was one of the things that he used. So it was interesting that we really don't hardly ever take off our realtor hat. It's always there.
Yeah.
So it's Sunday, Monday, Saturday. It's always there.
Yeah, we were
So,
showing houses this whole weekend. So
Yeah. So,
this is a 24/7 job.
yeah.
Yeah.
365.
Yeah.
You know what? I absolutely will not answer my phone on Christmas. And,
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
yeah,
I try not to answer my phone before 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So people from the West Coast call.
And I take Thanksgiving off. There's a few holidays.
Yeah.
So whatever your religious holiday is, or a celebration. But what is that?
day.
Costco takes 4 days off a year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They
For
close.
Eric and I, we've been going for 12 days
Yeah.
to go to Canada.
Yeah.
But we are also leaving 2 team members here to handle life while
Yeah.
we're gone. I heard there's one place that we're going to go that doesn't really have Wi-Fi, and I hope that's going to be okay. But the fact is that we are going to make sure that because that's who we are. We help people if there's something that's happening, we're on it. So, in fact, I talked to a realtor who said, "Well, you just turn your phone off and just they can handle waiting." And I'm like, "Oh, that's how you lose a client." So yeah. But that's not where we're usually go on these updates.
Yeah.
So
What do you do for a living?
I sell real estate. And what do you do for a living?
I sell real estate.
There we go.
So,
and so if you
we
guys
are not sponsored on this show.
No, we're
This
not.
is-
No,
this is,
we just do our own thing. But one of the sponsors is 365 Hawaii, and Lance does an excellent job with his clients, and I will leave his information below. And hopefully, also, because we all work in Kona, we can do work
And
up
we
and
all work
down.
together. I mean, your whole team, everybody
Yeah.
island wide.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so it's good.
Yeah, it is. And coming up is we're going to Newey's East Hawaii update is going to actually be folded into the island-wide update because she too is at NAR and she's traveling.
It was so good to see her there in DC. That was fun.
Yeah,
So.
and so it was nice because they sent me pictures of them standing on top of a big building. Look at the White House.
The old Ebb building, if anybody knows what that is, if they go to DC. But it was really cool building.
Yeah, yeah,
Looking
and the
down.
view is amazing.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this at the end of this month on a Thursday, which is the 20-something. So if you guys want to find out what's going on with the whole island, and we're going to do a little bit more of a little Insta spotlight on East Hawaii, because many people are trying to figure out how they can afford to live here, and they've been going to East Hawaii. That will be available. And but for right now, I hope you guys subscribe to this channel and do the notification, and let us know what you guys also want us to talk about besides just statistics and what's happening. Is there specific things you want to know about as being a buyer or a seller, or tactics or tips, whatever? Ask us and we'll answer them for you guys for next time. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And with
Thank
that,
you
we'll
for
say
inviting me.
aloha.
Aloha.